In today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about how I plan to grow my insurance agencies in the year 2022. It is currently January 2022, and we're just getting kicked off. We're just getting started. If this is your first time tuning in, I am an owner of a few insurance agencies here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We've, in 5 years, grown from 1 to next month 3 insurance agencies, and we're scaling like crazy. And I'm just trying to document the entire process to hopefully add value to all of you guys. Hopefully, some of my tips and tricks and strategies that I have going into this new year will be able to help you no matter what stage of the insurance industry you are in. Maybe you just opened your insurance agency, or maybe you work for an insurance agency and maybe you want to open up your own someday. Hopefully, these tips will be able to help you guys. So before we do, make sure you guys destroy the like button if you get some value, subscribe as well, and follow me on my social media platforms. Let's get started. So the first thing that I'm doing in 2022 is I am in hire mode. I am in always be hiring mode, because as I scale into this third office, maybe you might be in a different position, but I would recommend that you're always in hiring mode, because you never know when your current staff may leave, find a different opportunity, underperform, do something unethical. You need to always kind of have those backups, and that's exactly what I'm doing as we scale into this third office. I know that I need to overhire right now. I'm currently made about 5 hires, I believe, 4 salespeople, 2 telemarketers, so 6, and I'm still looking for more. And this does a couple things. It keeps my current staff engaged, because they see these people coming in and out for interviews, and it keeps them on their toes. It lets them know that this is a great opportunity, that they don't want to mess up. And so always be hiring, always be looking for your rock stars, the Michael Jordans that you can add to your team, because you never know when you're going to need them. Another thing is I'm over hiring on purpose, because I know that when I shake the tree, only the strongest are going to survive. And I know that not everyone's going to stick, and that's okay. I'd rather have my team in order and not need them versus, hiring out of necessity. Because I've always made my worst hires when I was hiring because I needed people. And so being proactive all year, I'm over hiring right now, but I know that, 6 months from now, I'm going to be happy that I did, even though it's going to cost me more up front. Even though I know that I'm going to be spending a ton on, the hiring service, I'm spending a ton on, the training, the onboarding, and then they don't work out. That's fine, because like my mentor tells it to me is the government's helping us with these expenses. We get to write off payroll. And so our money is better off spent towards finding people than to go towards stupid things that we shouldn't be spending our money on, like, prematurely getting a super nice car, or prematurely, buying this big exotic house, or taking, travels when your business isn't where you need it to be quite yet. So we get to write off payroll, but we don't get to write off personal expenses. And so let the government pay for helping you find the right team and building that up. So that's the first thing I'm doing this year, is I'm going all in on hiring, and I'm looking for the right people to add to my team. My second strategy for growing this year is I'm increasing my lead volume. As you guys might know, my current top 2 lead sources, I use EverQuote and All Web Leads. I'm an open book. Those are the 2 lead sources that I use and that have worked best for me. And so I'm going to be increasing the lead volume. I'm also going to be increasing our telemarketing efforts. There's no point in buying more internet leads if you're not fully maximizing them. And I mean contacting them, multiple dials, multiple contacts. That sales quote that says the average sale happens on the 5th to 12th contact, and a very low percentage of sales happen on the 1st through 5th contact. And so, increasing my lead volume as well as increasing our telemarketing efforts. That's a reason why I've also hired 2 more telemarketers to add to my team. This helps my sales team, because my telemarketers get these leads on the phone, and it allows my telemarketers to focus on dials, and it allows my sales team to focus on talking to people, closing deals. I don't want my salespeople boggled down with dials and making 300, 400, 500 calls a day. I save that for my telemarketers, and my sales team gets to focus on strictly talking to people, building value, building rapport, and then closing deals. And so, not always increasing your lead volume is going to equal more sales. That's, goes without saying. You want to make sure that you are actually working your leads, working them, making sure that your follow-up process on a lot of these leads is immaculate, because like I always say, most leads are best 3 to 6 months out versus like right then and there. My third focus this year is more coaching and more development of my team, more coaching and training. Training must never stop. It needs to be in your agency culture weekly. Your people don't just get it and then they've got it, right? Like you as the agency owner never just fully understand. There's levels to this, and constant training, coaching, and developing of your team is very, very important. Now I'm fortunate enough to have a strong sales manager that is assisting me with some of the nitty gritty, the coaching, the listening to phone calls, the listening to my team. And so, there's that saying that you have to inspect what you expect. And it's so true, because if you go long periods of time without inspecting your employees' conversations, their dialogues, and what they're saying to customers, and helping them work on sales strategies and how to become stronger closers or how to become stronger at building rapport, if you're not inspecting that, they're going to go on to struggle and to not know why it is they're not seeing a result. Constantly coach and train and develop your team. And especially if you are an agency owner, make sure you are seeking out coaching and mentorship and things where, you can, have self-awareness on where you need to improve as well. And sometimes that's just as simple as, it doesn't need to be a formal mentorship. Maybe you just become really good friends with some of the top agencies, top agency owners in the country. If you're a producer, get to know some of the top producers in the country and just build a relationship with them. And when you get to know them on that first name basis, you can reach out to these people and they'll be more than willing to help you. And so I know for me, I've been asked a ton on social media if I'm offering coaching for people on the YouTube world, and I'm not yet. I might come out with some sort of a coaching plan later where I can help people. But right now I'm just so dialed into my agencies and my team and my people that I'm not willing to offer that service just yet. But that may change. That's the third thing that we're doing differently this year. And a lot of the things we're doing is not necessarily different. I'm just doing more of. And so hopefully that makes sense to you guys. The fourth thing, and if you guys have been on my channel, you guys know I talk about some of these things all the time. The fourth thing that I'm doing differently this year and doing more of is social media marketing and building a brand and networking and getting to know people all over my state, getting to know people that are in mortgage, people that are realtors, that work at car dealerships, other insurance offices. We are in networking mode, and it's a very important strategy that everybody builds their personal brands. That way, people think about you in the topic of insurance, okay? Everybody is on social media nowadays, and they're browsing, and you need to figure out a way to stand out to get them to think about you. You want to be their go-to, and social media is the best tool for that. I have built a lot of my insurance agency off of social media and, through personal referrals and people just reaching out and wanting to help me, whether that's sending me a candidate to come work with me or that's sending me their parents to get quoted by insurance. Everybody needs to have a social media presence in 2022. Everybody needs to have a personal brand in 2022. I've been screaming this since I started in 2017. I knew this was going to be a part of my strategy, and it needs to be a part of yours as well. Now, how I do this with my team is I encourage them to post on social media. I have a girl that comes to my office and helps us with content. She's very creative, and I pay her for her time, and she will bring us ideas and content to film TikToks and Reels and so on and so forth. And now I don't force every single employee to build a social media brand, but they better get it done over the phones. They better get it done with all of the leads that I'm buying. They better get it done in any other way if they don't want to build a social media brand and stuff like that. because I'm just not the type of leader to force social media down if that's not down your throat, if that's not a part of your strategy. But I highly encourage it. I highly recommend it, and I will fund it. As far as networking and marketing, just figuring out ways to add more value to mortgage offices, loan officers, and insurance partnerships than every other person. And that's what's going to help us become a well-oiled machine. So that way we're not just reliant on internet leads, even though they work, but we're getting solid business being sent to us on an ongoing basis. And that's something that we're just quadrupling down on in 2022. So hopefully this will give you guys an insight and ideas on what we're doing at the Nicholas Sakha agencies, and hopefully it will help you guys in your journey. If you guys need more help, or if you guys want me to touch on any of these other subjects, drop a comment below. Maybe drop what seems to be working for you guys, and I appreciate you guys watching. So again, if you got some value, destroy that like button, subscribe for all things insurance, entrepreneurship, self-development. Follow me on my social media platforms. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.